Welcome back inside TD Garden, everybody. My name is Mike Petralia. This is Jimmy Toscano.
What's up, Trags?
And this is the Garden Report powered by CLNS Media and Greats.com, your online source for great-looking shoes. Use my promo code TRAGS, that would be TRAGS, for a 15% discount on all items online.
You're a shoe guy. You're a shoe guy.
I
Everybody
am.
knows that.
And Greats.com, I can tell you because I already got my first pair of Greats.
Ooh.
They look and feel great.
Okay.
So it's appropriately named, Jimmy.
Who else looked great and felt great tonight?
I would say KYRIE IRVING and Gordon Hayward, not because they had great statistical numbers, Jimmy Toscano, but because they finally got on the parquet. And as KYRIE IRVING said to Abby Chin after the game on the Celtics broadcast, he said, look, I was rusty as hell, but this is a whole new platform, and I had to get out here and finally play a game along with Gordon Hayward. And it was very good, I thought, for both of them. I thought they really moved around. The Celtics win their preseason opener against the Charlotte Hornets, 94-82. But if you take a look at the numbers, Jimmy, KYRIE IRVING, 4 of 11. He finished with 9 points. 4 rebounds and 3 assists and 3 steals. Then you take a look at Gordon Hayward, 2 of 6. He only had 5 points. As Brad Stevens said after the game, Jimmy, he's not so much worried about how they shoot because there's that opening night jitters, even in the preseason. What did you think of the two together?
Yeah, I mean, throw out the stat sheet. It really doesn't matter what the final numbers were. It was good to see those guys on the court working the ball, working off each other.
Right.
You got 2 basically superstars out in the court, which you really don't see that often, at least on Boston. It was Isaiah Thomas and nobody else. Tonight you had KYRIE, you had Hayward, or you had one or the other out there for the first half, pretty much at all times. And yeah, you're going to have that first game jitters. You're playing in a new arena that these guys, they're not familiar playing in, at least being cheered in, I should say. So they had to get that out of the way. They're working with a brand new team. I mean, Al Horford, I thought he had a great game too, obviously under the radar as usual. But he's going to be
just the way he likes
instrumental in getting those two guys comfortable with each other and comfortable with the rest of their teammates.
What I thought was interesting is to see how KYRIE really started to get involved and show some versatility in his game offensively. And we all know that from his days in Cleveland. But there was him staying out on the perimeter. He was dishing. He was picking and rolling with Gordon Hayward. And that's a lot of the type of offense that the Celtics are going to expect from those two when they're on the court together and even when they're not.
Yeah, you could see them playing off each other. You could see KYRIE sort of getting comfortable with a guy like Baines being the force down low. And then you saw at times KYRIE doing a little bit of takeover mode where you saw some of that those handles. I mean, he's one of the best ball handlers in the world. So when he decides to put that on display, you could hear it in the crowd. You could hear the oohs and the ahs a little bit. Now the shots aren't really falling the way that you'll see them fall in the regular season, but you can see what he's capable of. You just hope that his teammates don't get stuck watching him because he's kind of that, you kind of
mesmerizing.
Mesmerizing. You kind of get in a trance just watching that ball go around. But he's just so smooth out there, and I think the best is obviously yet to come in terms of what we're going to see between him and Hayward and Horford.
You mentioned Baines, and I want to bring up something humorous that I thought happened, and it almost became a serious situation. But when Dwight Howard and KYRIE got into it in the first half on a loose ball, it kind of got into each other's face, and it was Baines coming to the rescue, trying to play peacemaker. What did you think of all of that?
Yeah, if you see Baines out in the wild, you need to just drop, play dead, because that is one bad man. You know what I mean?
Yes, he is.
He's not a guy you want to mess with.
Brad Stevens said as much after the game.
Yeah, he's not a guy. Dwight Howard wants nothing to do with Baines. I can tell you that. So it was good to see that toughness out there on the court, because you need a guy like that out there that's going to stand up for your team, especially your superstar teammates. They're going to feel a little bit more confident, maybe going to the basket, knowing that they have that muscle behind them there.
All right, let's move on to another guard who caught my eye tonight, caught your eye as well, Slim Marcus. Marcus Smart has dropped 25 pounds in the offseason. Much was made of his workout regimen, his diet, and he looks like a different player. And I think the reason that could be significant, Jimmy, is he started out 2 for 2 from three-point range tonight. 3 of his first 6 he knocked down from beyond the arc. If he does have more juice later in the year, more energy, more stamina, that can only help his legs, which can only thereby help his jump shot.
Help his shot, absolutely. I mean, he's got that extra little bit of lift, and you're talking about a guy who, energy and, diving all over the floor. that's his game right there. I mean, his game isn't, at least yet, you don't want to see him taking 10 threes a game. I mean, he seems a little bit more confident taking those shots, but he's the energy guy. He's the guy off the bench. He's the Tommy point guy, and you need to be in good shape. And I remember last year, specifically Tommy Heinsohn, I think he actually flat out said, he said Marcus Smart looks out of shape. He looks too big. So whether or not Marcus Smart got wind of that or not, he knew that in the offseason he needed to shape up a little bit, and it's clear. You can just see, you can see it in his face, you can see it in just his body, and you can see it in his energy level out there, that he's a different player.
My only concern would be Marcus Smart loves to play the physical game, and he loves to defend the low post. When you have a smaller body, that's going to be harder to do.
It is, but it's muscle. You know what I mean? Like he's turning his fat into muscle, so I think a lot of that weight is shifting.
That's 25 pounds, Jimmy, though.
Sure, but
that's a lot.
Yeah, I can see that, but I think maybe he will adjust his game in that sense to make up for the loss of pounds. But I don't think he's losing strength, so that's the difference. He might be losing weight. I think that's actually that's a negative. That's slowing him down. That's not what's allowing him to go up against some of these power forwards. I think he's getting stronger in other areas.
It was a fun night of basketball here at TD Garden as the Celtics get off on the right note in the preseason, beating the Charlotte Hornets, Dwight Howard and company, by a score of 94-82. We'll have plenty more on the Garden Report. This Garden Report has been brought to you by CLNS Media and Greats.com, your online source for great-looking shoes. Use my promo code TRAGS, TRAGS, for a 15% discount. Jimmy, it was a pleasure. I look forward to many more of these down the road. This should be a fun season.
Broke the seal tonight. Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody is expecting a great season. I would expect it
of us. They're expecting it of us too.
And I won't disappoint. I know you won't either.
I know you won't.
Okay, it's going to be a fun preseason. Can't wait for the rest of the preseason. Of course, the season opener in a couple of weeks in Cleveland against the Cavaliers. We'll have complete coverage on CLNS Media. Inside TD Garden, this is Jimmy Toscano. I'm Mike Petralia, and this is the Garden Report for CLNS Media.